The views, opinions, and statements expressed in the following program reflect the views of the program contributors and do not necessarily reflect views of CAB Broadcasting LLC and its management or its sponsors.
Hello everyone, happy Thursday and a very happy Diwali to everyone. This is Rennu from Prem Connection, and I have with us today the whole team of Prem Connection here because we felt what better way to celebrate Diwali by giving you all the tips of how to find your life partner. So if you're alone for Diwali this year, don't worry, we'll have you hooked up for next year. So on that note, I'm going to introduce our co-host Sheena and Rohan, and then they're going to do the rest of the introductions to the other aunties sitting there waiting to celebrate Diwali. And of course, that's my favorite RJ from Radio Zindagi, Miss Ira. Happy Diwali to you, Miss Ira / Divya Bharti.
Happy Diwali to you too, everyone. Absolutely, you're right. You know what better way to kick off these 5 days of Diwali than this show?
That's right. Over to you, Rohan and Sheena.
Hi, Sheena. Good evening.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali to you as well. And to you, Boogie Auntie. Kamal Auntie, sorry. How are you doing?
Yeah. Kamal Auntie, happy Diwali.
Yeah, AK, whatever, right? Yeah. Hi. Welcome, everybody, to
Diwali,
the show. And happy Diwali to Erin and Rohan and Sheena and Rennu.
Yes, Rohan, I see you have your little pataki sitting next to you today.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You know, Diwali, a new year, new beginning. And I figured, you know, this would be a good thing to have her on. You know, she's client relations. We're talking about the services today. And in fact, I kind of wanted to jump right into it. I think a lot of people have been asking what services are we providing? And I figured, you know, today, new beginnings, new life. Let's talk about that. And so, Sheena, I know that with you running operations, we can kind of go into details about one of our services, which is the database. So what is the database service about?
So when you are interested in joining Prem Connection, the first thing that you would do is go onto our website, enter your initial information, and let us know.
The website?
Sorry?
The website is?
PremConnection.com.
There you go. PremConnection.com. That's right. Okay, so you go to the website.
And then you type in your initial information. If you are a paid client, meaning you're a global client, you're able to then have a meeting with both of our aunties and give them more information about yourself. But if you are a free client, then you're able to go on in and enter your own information to be part of our database.
So speaking of that and saying how it's free, this is the service that we're providing so that you can be in our database. It's exclusive, it's private, no one knows. You just put in some information, and basically what do we do with that database of people?
So what we're doing actually, Rohan, is we've decided, Kamal and I have decided we're going to talk to anyone, even if they're the free members, we want to actually talk to everyone. So we have 3 programs. We have the VIP and the global VIP. Those are the paid clients who want private exclusive searches done for them, and we will find you someone whether they're in our database or out of our database. And then, like Sheena mentioned, the other one is the premium, which is a free database. And for those who don't maybe have the budget right now to invest in a search, they can put all the information there. But as soon as we get the information, Kamal and I are going to call and do a Zoom interview with every single person. That's all we did last week. We've been just meeting so many people. And some people actually came in on the free and are now converting to be private because they realize that's what they want. Others want to remain on the free database. And then what we'll do is if you are a match for one of our paid clients, we will reach out to you and then you'll be paying some more fees at that time.
Okay. And so the good news about the database are that they ask you questions, right? Sheena, on the back end, we're asking you a little bit about yourself. So that allows us to help kind of, you know, narrow down the searches when it comes to some of our premium VIP clients, correct?
Yes, that's correct. A little bit about yourself as well as a little bit about what you're looking for in a significant other.
And I think it's incredibly important to put some of those things down because, you know, you are looking for a life partner and you should put down what you're interested in, but at the same time, you want to keep yourself a little bit, you know, I don't know, open-minded. Yeah. But nonetheless, at least it gives us some parameters to begin with. So again, let's just be clear. The initial lowest end of our service is a free service where you can join our database. The two aunties will connect with you just to gauge you, see maybe if you are interested in something more. Regardless, it is private, it is exclusive. Nobody can search for you on our website. So that is just a nice way of, you know, maybe you're busy with work and you don't have the money right now, but hey, I'm on there. So if somebody does come my way and I am the right match, then great. Then, you know, we can move on from there. But Auntie Kamal, I thought maybe we could talk a little bit about some of the premium services.
Right. On the premium services, the VIP premium services, we are open to the US residents or citizens or the Canadian. So we're offering them this service, and there will be a background check. There will be, a social media, check that, you exist. And we want to make sure also that you're single. You could be, separated. So it's very important, all those things. And then when we do the little interview, or, it's just a get to know you conversation through Zoom when we do, and we touch bases on lots of little things that, are of interest to you and to us. So that way we're getting to know you more and more.
Auntie Rennu, what exactly are the services involved with? What do we do on our end to help them find their life partner?
So what we're going to do is, as Kamal mentioned, we are definitely going to first do the interviews, and it's just going to be one. Right now, of course, it's Zoom, and I think Zoom is going to end up being the main way of meeting everyone. It just saves time, and if someone's local, to drive and meet in person. So when we do the Zoom interview, the first one is a get to know, casual, tell you about the service, and you tell us a little bit about your wish list. And then after that, for the second interview, we go back in there, and we, with Sheena's help then, the member will complete their complete profile, so that in that way, Sheena can advise them. Sometimes people's wish list is maybe off the wall a little bit. And sometimes the requests are a little unreasonable. And this is where private matchmaking is so important, because we're able to step in and, as two aunties, truly give you some honest advice. We're not going to make you change your wish list, but we have, for example, one person said that they want to meet somebody who is based in the US. They want to get to know them here, but that person must be open to relocating in the next 4 years to India. They have to relocate. Now, when that becomes a have to, that's a difficult one, because if, for example, Rohan, if I were hooking, let's say, Sheena up, and I were to tell Sheena that the person wants to get to know you, but in 4 years, you must promise him that you're going to move to India, she may not be ready to make that commitment. So that's going to eliminate a whole lot of possible introductions, right? So the best we can do is advise you and say, well, be open-minded. I'm not saying give up your wish list, but if I start putting ultimatums in front of people right from day one, they're going to say no. Right. So this is where the two aunties come in and can give you some good advice. And between the both of us, even Kamal and I have different perspectives of different things, the way I see things, the way Kamal sees things. And in that way, the person gets both the perspectives. And then when we complete your profile and we accept you in, your background check is run, then we'll start doing the searches for you. Yeah.
Even on the non-negotiables, yeah, right? When
even on the non-negotiables,
we talk to them. Maybe they don't need to be so stringent on those non-negotiables. So, and they start thinking, and they think, okay, maybe this one isn't so non-negotiable. So it's just having that chat, kind of opens up to, few ideas, and then they start thinking, and then we also get to know them, and we can, get an idea of what they're really looking for. So it's a very good chat process.
I think you guys are making great points. I think the thing that people should take away from what you guys just said is, number one, we don't change your wish list. In fact, if you are gung-ho about this is a have to, we will still scour for this life partner. It may just take a little bit longer, but we will still work within your parameters. But like you said, the good part about having two aunties with different perspectives are that you can give different advice about different life experiences, and that can help someone along the ways. And then we do have Sheena, who has a brilliant idea about like how to make your profile a lot more just
presentable.
Presentable.
Right. I mean, it's just like when you go job searching, right, Rohan? It's a resume that gets you that first interview in the door, and then the rest is how you present yourself. And for example, and I think, we were just talking earlier in the show about ghosting. So one of the people that we interviewed talked about how she spent a whole year talking to this person. I mean, a whole year talking to this person, meeting with them, and then suddenly he just disappeared off the radar. So I guess Kamal and I have never heard of the word ghosting. We call that ignoring. We call it being ignored. But I guess he went
dark ages, when
he disappeared. Right. And then he appeared back on the scene after 6 months and wanted to chat with her. So one of the advantages of the aunties is if we've done the introduction, you can't really ghost somebody because we're going to call you and we're going to want to know, there's going to be a follow-up. When you go on an introduction, you're going to have to fill out a follow-up with us the next day and give us feedback. How was the person? Well, what were did you like them? Did you not like them? Right down to where did you meet? And then in that way, if things don't work out, you're not in the awkward position to say no to the other person. That's where the two aunties will come in and say, maybe this one's not the right one. How about we move over to the next person? So. Yeah.
I mean, that's a great point. Another thing just about that is the exclusivity and the security measures that we take to make sure you don't get catfished. I mean, that's a huge thing that people are dealing with right now, that they're trying to meet someone, but someone is showing you a different person or picture, and that's really hard. So we want to move past that so that we can just get through all the riffraff to find you the right person. And so,
I love the word riffraff.
Yeah.
Yeah, riffraff.
If you're a catfish, you're riffraff. To me, that's one in and one out.
Yeah, or even like the swiping. I mean, can you really? I mean, I know some people were like, well, we've been able to luck out on swiping left and right, maybe, but seriously, do you even know any information? Do you really want to go out? There's so many wackos or weirdos out there. Do you really want to be going on a blind date with someone you don't even know? I mean, I want to know at least some history of that person.
You also commit a lot of hours to swiping if you really want to find someone on a dating app. So this is a lot more convenient, and it also saves you a lot of time as well.
Yeah, well, exactly. Sorry, Rohan, I'll give you an example. I think somebody tried to introduce Sheena to a while back. And, the first question she asked me is, well, Mom, does the boy have an accent? I didn't know. I'd never spoken to him. Now, with the two aunties, the fact that we've talked to somebody, I mean, there's some people who say, I don't want to have somebody with a Phobby accent, right? You can come back and say, well, yeah, yes, they do have a bit of an accent, and you don't have to go into this awkward date and then find out, oops, you're really not who I want to be with. So.
No, again, that's another great point. We do value every client's time, and the whole purpose of our service is to free up your time to do whatever it is that you want to do with your time, whether that's spend time with friends or family or work or play, whatever it is. We will take on the other aspects of it to help you find who you're looking for. And that's a really good point.
So we have a question, it looks like, from one of our listeners. So thanks. Her name is Rennu too. Hey, Rennu, thank you for tuning in. So her question is, how are you different from Shaadi.com? So Rennu, I'll answer that question for you. So Shaadi.com, again, I do not believe is a personalized service unless they've introduced something that I'm unaware of. And in Shaadi.com, you're creating profiles and you're relying on a computer to do the matches for you. And many times the computer doesn't even screen people out. So really, unlike the swiping, you're relying on a computer database to do your matches for you. And so for the curious mom, I know that when my daughter, elder daughter was on Shaadi.com looking, we got a whole bunch of weirdos. I mean, she was 24 and we were getting, matches from 44-year-old people, and it didn't make any sense why the computer was doing that. And I was always a very worried mom all the time, wondering who is possibly going to go and meet her. And I would have felt more comfortable had I known there was this auntie who had done the screening, who I could call and say, tell me about his family, blah, blah, blah. So just like the old-fashioned times, you have your bacholis, Rennu. That's what you're going to have. You have two bacholis here, right, Kamal?
Yeah, well, I've done those a few times. So I know what that's all about. And I think it's very important to have that personal touch and know the person, or not even know, but you vetted the person. So I think it's very important.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to touch on that point again. I think that's exactly what our service is. We are hands-on. We devote our time, our energy. All we want is you to be happy, and that's the real important thing. We're not basing it on a database where we just let an algorithm figure it out. We do want that. And that's the important part of Sheena on the operations side, where she will go through your profile with you to make sure that we are understanding exactly what you're looking for. And then we can continue to have Zoom meetings so that we can understand, because everybody's personality is so different. And we don't know if you're looking for someone with the same personality or someone that complements your personality. And that's what's the important of meeting numerous times. And that's what shows with us. And that's what we hope that will be the difference.
And Rohan, one of our clients, a prospective that I spoke to last week, after speaking to her, she mentioned that she's actually talking, how people talk, right? She called it talking to someone. So I recommended immediately to her that I don't think you should join our service right now, because if you're already talking to someone, even though you may not be committed, the fact that you got to that talking stage, I don't think that's a viable candidate right now for us. So again, that came through an interview. Whereas if the person had been on a database, you would have never known, right? That they're meeting you and yet they're talking to other people. So I think that these are important things that come through a private matchmaker.
Sheena, you were going to say something?
Yes.
I was going to say as well, when you fill out your application with me as well, so you'd be able to figure out, is the non-negotiable something that's like extremely important, if it's a little bit on the less important side, because then we're able to find you the perfect match. So also during a conversation, you're really able to understand if that non-negotiable is something that's extremely important, because then you're able to really match down to the like nitty-gritties as well, which is important.
And another thing we've done, Rohan, is Kamal and I have joined a membership program of over 300 matchmakers around the world. So we're actually going to be in conversations with 300 other matchmakers around the world. So we're not limiting our clients only to our database. So if we have a viable candidate, we can definitely talk confidentially without giving information. Maybe there's a matchmaker sitting in Singapore who has a great client that might be open. So we've gone to that point where we're spending our time to even network with other people in the business now too.
That's great. And I just want to remind listeners again, that service for the database is free. It's free
Correct.
to sign up. So the fact that, we now have this new circle of matchmaking is great, because you're in our service so that if they're looking for someone, we say like, hey, we may have someone here. So we highly recommend, getting the word out to your friends and a family that are single, that are tired of using these apps and, are looking for a life partner ready to settle down. And it's definitely, it can only benefit you. In my opinion, there's nothing to lose. It's completely private, exclusive.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
It's a win-win situation. You don't have to spend time. We'll do the work for you, and then we'll do the introduction, and you go from there. You create your chemistry, like Rennu says it famously all the time. You create your chemistry, we'll do the introduction. So I think it's a win-win situation. But each is on.
It's unlike, when you try, for example, I'll give an examples. Many CEOs and people like that use recruiters to go and find the best jobs, right? Because recruiters will go through all the details. And it's really what you're willing to invest in. When you buy a car, you do all your homework, right? Before you buy the car, you make sure that the car is going to fit all your requirements. When you buy a house, you work with the broker. So I can never understand when people want to find a life partner. Why do you want to spend only $20 on an app? And why would you rely on an app or a computer to do your introduction when that's where you need that human touch? And I think that going back to the old-fashioned way, Rohan, that what our grandmothers and great-grandparents went through, right? The bacholi in the village comes to you and says, oh, there's a nice boy living on that side of town. And, and you get all his history and background. And I think that's really coming back now. I think everybody's tried the internet, and now it's time to go back to the old-fashioned ways.
At the beginning of this conversation, we were talking about ghosting, and you said that you and Auntie Kamal hadn't dealt with ghosting before. And I think that's because back in the dark ages, you only met people if you met them on that one block, 6 miles away. So you just didn't have to go there again. Whereas nowadays, you have social media, you have email, you have cell phone, people still have landlines. There's all of those ways of contacting someone. So if someone is going out of their way to not respond, that's what gave it the term. Like, you really just checked out of the system and gone far away.
And I don't want to make it sound scary, but you watch some of those murder mysteries on television. I've been watching those late at night, and some of them, many of the stories are people that have got multiple wives sitting in other states, and nobody bothered to. I mean, when you fall in love with someone, you're not going to say after you fall in love, can I run a background check on you? So isn't it more convenient that the two aunties are the ones that are doing all the homework for you? So even if you meet somebody, you might say, I'm not sure about this part of them. Can you go find out more? And we can ask those awkward questions. So I believe we have just a couple of minutes left, Rohan. So you want to wrap up with more about Prem Connection?
I do. I just wanted to say that point that you just made is really great, because think about this. People don't want to have that conversation about should I really do a background check? I mean, maybe your dad is telling you should probably do a background check, but you don't have to worry about that with Prem Connection. We will do that, and they know what they're getting into, so there's no questions about it. I think it's great. It's a wonderful service that we're providing. Next week, we're going to have Stephanie Serrell on. She's a podcaster. She's a director. She's unfortunately been through the pitfalls of dating, especially on social apps, on dating apps. We look forward to speaking with her next week. Prem Connection is premconnection.com. You can email us at 2auntiesdoubleadvice at gmail.com. Please tell your friends about it and have them sign up on our database. It can only help.
And you can
Absolutely. And just like we picked the right president for the country, you need to pick your right life partner, right, Kamal?
Yes, you can go to our face page and connect with us, send us a message. There's so many ways, like Rohan said, you can contact us any which way. We will respond.
Yeah. And then there's Sheena. I mean, there's Sheena on our back end. There's Erin here who does client relations. There's anything at all that we can possibly help, we will help you. Like we talked about previously as well, the life coaching aspects, styling aspects, any questions you have that'll help you on a date, we will help you through that. Because our goal is to put you with your right foot forward.
Yes, we're going to have some dating coaches and life coaches as well involved in the service. Because again, just like anything else, sometimes you just need that little grooming and that little, I call it a facelift, just to change you a little bit and improve on you. If people wondered, how come I never get that second call or I get ghosted? Well, sometimes you just need somebody to be honest with you. So I'm really excited, and I'm very excited about your guest next week. I want to learn about the pitfalls of dating. I'm not sure how much dating experience Kamal and I have had, but we don't need to have dating experience, right, Kamal, to be matchmakers.
No, we didn't. Like we keep saying, we came from the dark ages, but we just know how to make a relationship work. So I think we got that plus point there.
And we must remember, it only takes one match. You only need to have one to find your perfect life partner. You don't need to go through 100 matches on that.
Absolutely.
Yes. So special thanks always to Radio Zindagi for always giving us this platform, always for, for all these different types of community discussions. And if you want to be on our show and you have a story to share, then please reach out to us, because we'd love to hear from you. Over to you, Miss Ira. I know Miss Ira is back here, my Divya Bharti. And of course, happy Diwali.
Yes, I am always right here. Happy Diwali to you too. And thank you everybody for taking out time and being on this show. Thank you, viewers. We were also on Facebook Live on the Radio Zindagi page. So if you want to revisit this conversation, this will remain over there. Meanwhile, everybody have a nice festive season, and I will meet right here next week, same time, same place.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. See everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. And thank you, listeners.